It's Sunday, June 26th at 6:45 in the morning, and we're up on the K&P Trail north of White Lake Road, heading north. It's a beautiful morning, crystal clear blue skies, no wind, probably about 18 degrees, slated to go up to like 30 today with fairly high humidity, so very summery. I meant to do a welcome summer video, but we were busy and never managed to accomplish it on the day of. Well, over the last week, we received some very sad news. I don't think I've ever mentioned before that Luna, our cattle dog, is deaf. She's been deaf since she was a pup. And at first I wasn't sure how easy it was going to be to raise a deaf pup, but in the end it's turned out fine. She's been a beautiful dog to raise, and no issues at all. We live off the road quite a ways, so there's no issues of her running out into traffic and things. She's also the type of dog that stays very close to you. But anyhow, we had the dogs into the vet for a checkup a couple weeks ago and for some shots related to ticks. And at that time, the vet noticed that Luna looked like she was getting cataracts in her eyes. So she scheduled an appointment for us with an ophthalmology vet in Ottawa. We went there and actually found out what she has is something probably even worse than cataracts. Well, definitely worse than cataracts. It's called PRA, progressive retinal atrophy. This is a genetic issue, and there's no real cure for it. In most cases, apparently, it does result in eventual total blindness, although there is a type of PRA that sometimes results in less than total blindness. So I guess we have to hope for that outcome as perhaps the best possible outcome. She still sees fairly well in the daytime. We first noticed that she would occasionally be bumping into things at night in the house when it's fairly dark. Anyhow, that's a very sad bit of news that we received over the last week. And Luna's only 7, or approaching 7, so she's not that old. At first I was thinking, you know, being deaf and blind is probably a death sentence for a dog. The more I've been reading about it, I guess there are a number of dogs that live fairly well with it, or seemingly well with it. They still have their sense of smell, which is obviously a big thing for dogs, and they manage to get around with the owner's help within the house, as long as furniture stays in the same place, and you know, you block off stairwells and things so they don't fall. Anyhow, it's going to be a significant change in our day-to-day routines, and I just hope the progression of it, in her case, holds off for as long as possible, obviously. The vet did say that her retina already looks fairly involved, and but she seems to be seeing okay still in the daytime, but not so much greatly at night, I guess. Anyhow, didn't really want to bring up that depressing bit of news, but I thought people might be best to know out there, since Luna's always been such a big part of my videos, along with Zoe, as my walking companions. And hopefully that will remain so for as long as possible still. There may come a time where we might have to leave Luna back if she's having a lot of difficulty going forward. I'm hoping that on a leash she would still be able to enjoy her walks, but we'll have to see. Hopefully that's a ways down the road, but I don't really know enough about this condition to know fully what to expect as far as timing and things. Always something, as if she hasn't dealt with enough already from being deaf since birth. Yeah, you could argue she doesn't know what she's missed because she's always been that way, which is true. But obviously there has been a major sensory impact there that she's had to deal with. But she's really done fine from a hearing perspective as far as getting along in life. I know she enjoys her life. She still smells and chases things and whatnot, but when I try to imagine deaf and blindness, it's hard to even really perceive it. You close your eyes, close your ears, it seems like there's nothing left. And you wonder whether life would really be worth living like that. But apparently lots of dogs do live that way and seemingly exist happily, but obviously that is always up to our interpretation. We'll have to take a day at a time, I guess. It's easy to put all this on your head at one time and become overwhelmed and not really know how to deal with it. But the old adage is very true. Take a day at a time, I think, and try to live each day to the fullest. And hopefully the gradual change will enable us all to carry on happily. So, okay, enough depressing talk. Let's get back to the walk here. So this is the first day I've been up here where I'm seeing good numbers of deer flies, and I was expecting that to happen at any time. My last couple walks up here and bike rides, I have seen occasional deer flies, but nothing really significant. But today they're out in bigger numbers for sure. Still not hordes, but the dogs have typically 5 or 10 buzzing around them, and I've got them around the back of my neck biting me, so that's why I'm dressed up like this, because I figured they'd be coming out soon. And in a week or two, mid-July-ish, the only way you would come up here is on a bicycle. You won't be walking up here, at least not in a pleasant manner. That's when you'll get hordes and they'll be biting fiercely. So unless you're totally covered up, which isn't much fun in 33 or so degree heat, the deer flies control what goes on these trails through these hinterlands during those times. Yellow-throated vireo singing up in the trees here. That's always a true sound of summer to me, because those birds sing right through the middle heat of the day, and when a lot of other birds have stopped singing. Well, it's about 7:30 now, and the wind is picking up from the south like they said it would. And later today there's a chance of showers or thunderstorms, probably around 3 to 5 o'clock-ish, and after that for a while. Looks like a pretty slim chance, but you never know, we might get something. We're actually starting to get dry again. Haven't had rain for a week and a half or more now. The day is warming up quickly. Feels like about 23 or 24 degrees already. Very summery feeling. And up here further north in the more open area, for some reason we're not getting many deer flies right here, but I suspect we'll start seeing them again when we get into the more enclosed woodland areas and marsh habitat, swamps and things like that. Well, as expected, going through this swamp here, and the deer flies are quite heavy, fairly aggressively biting too. So we don't have too much further to go to get to the bridge, my normal destination on this walk. I had debated about going that far when the deer flies were worse back there, but then they lessened up and I decided, well, we might as well go for it and get the whole walk in. So we'll be up there in 15 minutes and then turn around and head back. Here we are at the bridge. What time have we got? 8:05. Take a bit of a rest here, let the dogs swim down in the river, and then I guess we'll head back. One good thing about getting up here early is that you can beat most of the ATV riders that come along this trail. On weekends it gets very busy up here, especially probably after like 10 a.m. So while I haven't seen one ATV on the walk up over an hour and a half walking time, I suspect we'll start seeing a few on the way back, but if we're lucky we might get back all the way without seeing any. But they usually seem to start getting busy up here after 10 and certainly after noon. That's when the preponderance of them come along. And the trail's very dry right now, so there's a lot of dust being thrown up. It was kind of funny the other day when I walked a section of the trail down near Verona. There was about 5 ATV riders that came in all together to the parking lot there, and they were just covered in dust, because they were following each other so closely, probably within 50 feet of each other. And they were just covered from head to toe in dust, and their machines were all covered in dust. And I thought that must be an enjoyable activity when the trail's dusty like this. So we're just coming up to the halfway point back. Still a beautiful day, quite breezy from the south now. Mostly clear still. Probably 25 degrees by the feel of it. Taking my overshirt off for a little while since the deer flies aren't too bad out here. I may have to put it back on again up further, but try it without it because it's certainly nicer than having a shirt on in this temperature. I might hear some ATVs coming. Yes, I definitely do. It has begun. Oh, there he goes. He's going the other way. He came in on Ball Road and heading south from there, so that's good. I'm sure it won't be long though before I come face to face with some of them. Offside, guys, offside. 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 We're just coming up to about half a kilometer left in the hike here, so I thought I'd sign off. It's been a nice hike. Sorry about the depressing part at the start about Luna. I just thought it might be good for myself to even get it out there. I'm hoping she'll be able to keep hiking with me as long as she can. Hopefully she'll have enough vision left that she can do the daily activities. She's been a beautiful dog, very nice tempered. Once she gets to know you, at least. She's always at my side, constantly. She's been my constant companion, like always there with me, wherever I go. Anyhow, signing off, coming up to 9:30. Hope you have a good summer Sunday, June 26th.